everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I am committed. I am dedicated to helping you all live a more beautiful life because I genuinely think that there are really tiny, small things, adjustments that you can make in your life, creative solutions that you can implement that can seriously change your outlook on your life and can just make you happier. And that's what this video is today. This is within a series of videos where I express my distaste for ugliness, what it can do to a person and their mood, their outlook on life, and I want to talk about how beauty can be a remedy for having a poor outlook on life. I think beauty can be a remedy for those who feel that their life has no meaning even, and even though that like some people may think that beauty is not necessarily a lifestyle choice or that it's a philosophical choice, I think that it is. And I want to talk about how, specifically in this video, how ugly habits that you have, not just ugly things, ugly methods, how getting rid of them can just change your daily life and can make life more bearable. But it's not even just about like bearable, like I am so not here for just living. Life is for living. It's not just about living and breathing and doing the basic functions. It's about enjoyment. It's so much more. We are set up. Our species is set up to appreciate so much more than the bare minimum of what we're given. And I just really want to hit home with that. So this video is going to be me talking about all of these ugly habits that I have seen and have been a victim to myself. These are habits that I plead you guys to consider getting rid of. All of these habits in themselves, in small quantities, it's not that big of a deal. I have done every single thing on this list. But when it starts to become a habit, when you form a habit and this starts happening all the time and the frequency goes up of doing these things, then it's going to start causing disorder in your life. It's going to ruin your mood and it's going to change how you behave. These habits, especially a combination of a few of them, they not only ruin your susceptibility to beauty, but they actually even worse, they ruin your desire for beauty and see it as superfluous, as unnecessary, as not worth the time. And I am here to tell you that beauty is always worth your time. Beauty is walking through this life chin up, and I am begging you guys to see that. This is going to be a long video. Welcome. The first thing that I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Messiness is a problem, okay? I think that there's like a healthy amount of mess that you can live with, and there's even an artistic type of mess that I think is completely fine. But disorder is very different. And disorder, its effect, messiness, like dirtiness, filthiness and that kind of thing, that does affect your brain. That does affect how you see things. And that's usually where ugliness happens. Wherever there is disharmony, where there's disorder, there is no harmony, there is no balance, the structure is not there, that is going to affect your brain, how you, literally how you look out onto the world, how you tackle problems, how you interact with other people. It affects everything in your life. Disorder and messiness. So I'm just starting off with that. I'm not going to go too into it because me and a million other people have written novels on this subject about messiness and cleanliness and how they affect you. But I really think that it's important just to, before we get into any of this other stuff, just keeping things clean and tidy. You don't have to be, I let a decent amount of dust pile up in my household, but it's always clean in here. Like it's always, things aren't like left out, there's not like stains from food on the table, the bathroom is clean, the tub is scrubbed, like stuff like that. Just make sure that you're living in an environment that's clean and somewhat tidy. Messes just don't get out of hand. Just a good rule of thumb. Just cleanliness helps, just clears your head, makes you feel like you've done something even when you haven't, when you've just cleaned your house. Just keep that in mind. The second habit that maybe some people have never given the time of day, even though I've seen it on the rise in the past couple of years, is documentation of your life. Do not forget your life. This is a bad habit that people have. They look back on their weekend and they say, I don't really remember what happened. Try and remember. Really try. And more than that, also document your life. Because there are so many little moments that you have. It could be a ladybug that you see on the street. It could be two people dancing outside of a bar, two older people, and they're dancing to music on like a block party or something. It could be anything. Moments of beauty especially, please document them and remember them. I think that it's important to remember them. If you don't have like some way to document it, like a journal or something in the moment, put it down in your phone in your notes and document it later. Take time to remember your life. I have myself a like little black book. It is the journal that is so dear to me and so important to me. I would be devastated if I was ever parted with it. That journal is my life. It's who I am. It's what I care about. More so like the way that I do my journals is I make them into works of art. I treat them like they would be like illuminated manuscripts. And I take the time to actually take hours to document even a week. And it's not even so like writing down like every little thing, but like writing down highlights of a day, writing down a quote that you remember, a specific instance, a holiday, just about anything. And I also decorate my journal to make it that much more sacred to me. But please do not forget your life. Don't go through life some 10 years, 30 years down the line. You have only faint memories. Life is so precious. You know, you should be able to go back through and really appreciate all that you've gone through over the years. I think that's worth doing, and not just pictures. You know, like there are some feelings that you have that need to be documented because you feel a different way back then than you do now, or well, how did that specific instance make you into who you are today? What fascinated you 10 years ago? Like those are also important things to document, not just pictures, not just places you've been to, but feelings and moments of beauty and ideas, I think are just as important. Get rid of this awful, ugly habit of just like going through life just blind, just racing from one thing to the next. There's nothing good about that. And I've been reading a lot about memory and creativity, and the muses are very interesting, and this idea that their mother, like in Greek mythology, like their mother was Mnemosyne, the goddess of memory. And so it's this idea that you have to be able to recall things and to remember things in order to create, it's a stagnation of a certain instance. And Mnemosyne is actually represented by a lake, right? So it's a stagnant body of water. So I think that's really interesting. Yeah, put on a nice outfit, go into a coffee shop on your day off and write down every little thing that you remember. Don't forget your life. Show respect to your life by documenting it. I think you're special. Your thoughts are special. Keep your thoughts. Show your thoughts respect. The third ugly habit. Again, I have fallen victim to this time and time again, but I learned a very important lesson a few years ago back in college. Stop waking up late, waking up last minute to go and do whatever it is you got to do, especially if it's something you don't want to do, like go to class or go to work or something like that. Give yourself at least an hour. And not only that, but the hour should not include getting ready. It shouldn't include eating, any of that before stuff. It should include something like you sitting down on a park bench and looking out and thinking, or it should be you going and getting a cup of coffee and reading a book, or maybe just taking a walk around, or it should be a leisurely activity. This hour. Back in college where I learned this, it was a boyfriend of mine who suggested that I do this, and it changed everything for me, and this is still at a time where I had to get up early for my class. So I had to get up around 6:30 in the morning to have an hour to myself, right? So I know that sounds awful, you don't want to do that, but I was very stressed out and I was doing things last minute all the time, and I just felt like my life was like violently attacking me. It was like this assignment I had to do. I had to go and do this, and I don't have enough time for this. And one day I decided to take that hour of leisure to myself, and I never looked back. I woke up at 6:30 in the morning. I had a class at like 8 or something, 8:30. I got up, got dressed, took my time. I wasn't in a rush. I made myself pancakes every morning and just, looked out the window and just ate in silence. And then I went to a coffee shop that was near my apartment, and I read whatever book that I was interested in at the time. And I listened to a little bit of like music, a little bit of like, some Spotify jazz playlist or something. And then I would look at my watch. It'd be like 8:15, and I'd walk over to my class. And you know what? That class stopped being a class I hated going to. I loved being there. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to do whatever it is that I have to do today, even if it's something I, didn't want to do 2 days ago. Now it's on my time. So I would definitely say you should wake up early. Give yourself an hour of leisure time. And then on top of that, give yourself time to, of course, like get ready, but without haste. And then anything else you got to do that day, that feels like your decision, not like somebody else is forcing you to do it. All of that time, that leisure time, that's the time for beauty. That time where time stops, where time is moving by slowly, and like you have a minute to catch your breath. I've said it time and time again. That is fertile ground for beauty to come in. You notice things more. You are more susceptible to beauty. Just give yourself the time. Give yourself the time. Stop rushing around. Stop waking up late and being pissed off because you feel like your life is your aggressor. Help yourself out. Okay, this number 4 is going to be a testy one because I know how much people love these apps. Stop ordering DoorDash and Uber Eats like multiple times a week. Hear me out. I know people love it. They love it so much. But please just 1 year. Just 1 year for me on this one. Every now and then, like I said, when these aren't habits, every now and then these things are fun. These things in moderation are fine and can even be artistic. But if you are ordering Uber Eats or whatever delivery app you are getting your food from, if you're doing this multiple times a day and multiple times a week, you are missing out is what I'm saying. You are missing out on an opportunity to make yourself some food. One, there is such pleasure and joy in learning about food and learning how to make a favorite meal of yours or taking the time to do that. And like I said, I've been this person, like I know the mindset that these people are in. The people that are like ordering this food and like doing a lot of these habits all the time are people that feel like life is like bombarding them, right? And they feel like they don't have control over their life. And you're just trying to get a breath of air and you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to cook right now. Like I've got so much other shit going on. You just feel like you can't catch your breath. I can assure you that there are things that you can do to make yourself not feel this way. And ordering Uber Eats and DoorDash is not like upping your serotonin level. It's not upping your dopamine level for more than like a temporary span of time. The things that are actually going to make your life feel like they're not rushing is not going to be things that take very little time. It's things that take a long period of time to execute, believe it or not. Trust me on that one. The longer something takes, the less it feels like your life is not yours, like somebody else is controlling you. When you're just adding these like convenient solutions to everything, stuff just starts piling it up and it gets worse. It doesn't make your leisure time, where you're just sitting on your couch, like decompressing after a stressful day, doesn't make your leisure time any more leisurely, because you're not looking at like eating food anymore as more than just like this is a temporary release and like I'm just shoving my face with some delicious like Chinese from across the street or something like that. That's not the way to go about it. Convenient solutions don't make things better in the long term. They are band-aid fixes. These are short-term solutions to a bigger problem. And I can assure you that taking your time to make yourself a meal, sitting down at a table, plating that meal, and like getting lost in it and the beauty of making food for yourself. And I even like get dressed up to eat. Food is not just something to shove into your mouth to like get that little dopamine rush or whatever that food gives you, and then you can like take a nap. You know, food should be taken more seriously. You should definitely like also not be like eating it out of the container it came in, like standing in front of the fridge, you know, like does this make sense? Like it's temporary short solutions, and then the rest of your energy isn't actually like, you're not gaining anything from it. When like all of these reversals of these habits, there is something to gain. You're changing the way that you perceive the thing that you're doing, and it in turn just makes you a happier person. Make yourself a meal. Make something sweet, or like make something easy even, you know, but like plate it and sit down and eat it and get off your phone and just eat it. Stare out into space, taste the food, enjoy what it like tastes like. It just give yourself the respect of your meal, you know, like it's something that's nourishing you, but it can also be visual. It can be a work of art too. And shit, you can make it like that every single day. You can make one meal good for the rest of your life, and that's fine. But you know, consider it. Take it into consideration, and know that the method and how you eat, you know, it can be so much more than just like click, I order this thing, I pay this fee, which is like so expensive. Like ordering out all the time, so expensive. I don't know how people do that. I literally don't. There's more to gain from even a meal that you have that day. I promise you. And even if you only have time to make that meal and to eat it, and that's all you got to do, it's not just like, oh, I only had time to eat my meal and like go to bed. It stops being that, and it starts being, oh, I had like a lovely meal last night and it was so good. It's the phrasing and how you look at it changes. Work stops being work. It starts being just like something that you like spent your time on. It's eating stops being like, oh, I just like ate and fell asleep, to being like, oh, I had this beautiful night. You know, I really like, I went through this like leisurely act of like making my meal and took my time with it. And then I sat down. It was so tasty that day, you know. It changes everything. Method changes everything. And definitely dress up to eat. Do that old like aristocratic rich people shit where you like dress for dinner. That's fun. I think that's so fun. Number 5. Ugly habit number 5, and you've heard me talk about this on this channel before, but I feel the need to say all of these things and combine them all in one video. Stop wearing ugly clothing in your house, or even when you're doing chores or cleaning. Okay, I've got an outfit for everything I gotta do. I've got an outfit for laying on my bed and listening to an audiobook. I've got an outfit for sitting on the couch and watching a film. I've got an outfit on for scrubbing my tub. You know, I've got an outfit for everything, and they're all nice. I don't like to give in to this idea that like as soon as you come home after a long day, you like take off your human disguise and then you just put on some comfortable shitty looking thing because who cares who's looking anymore? You're looking. You're looking at you. You don't just cease to be a human being. Like, why does that happen to you when you get home? I really think that there are some things you got to consider about your life if that's how you're thinking, if you're so exhausted all the time. And to be honest, somebody said it better than I ever have, and she commented this a day ago. Like 23 hours ago. This is Morgan Crosby 4190. Okay. And she said on one of my earlier videos, dressing up for life has become a mental health rule of mine. I am alive and this is special. So that's why I'm dressed up or I'm accessorizing. No matter where you are, outside in the world or in your house, you're alive. And that's pretty damn cool. Celebrate that by looking nice. It's as simple as that. She said it great. You did a great job, Morgan. I don't know if that's your real name, but hope you're watching this video, and a shout out to you. That you said it great. Simple and perfect. Number 6. Bad, ugly habit is treating your car purely as useful technology. I myself have dedicated have a dedicated goal in mind. And I want, a nice, stylish vintage car at some point. And I want this car so that I can ride in style. But it's so much more than that, because I want that car to be beautiful, because cars symbolize something very important to me. They symbolize freedom. They symbolize mobility. They symbolize being able to go and have friends in far corners of the place that you live, and being able to connect with people, being able to have to make choices. Freedom. Cars are a symbol of freedom and luxury, no matter what kind of car you have. Okay, my car is a used car. I've got two different side mirrors. They're different colors. I've got a dent in the back of my car, but that I look at my car as one of the most special things in my life, because it means that what I said, it means freedom to me. It means luxury. It means that if I want to on a rainy day, I don't have to walk. I can play music and I can get to my destination in comfort. Okay, and I think we forget about these kinds of comforts all the time, especially whenever people use their car as like a closet. That's a convenience problem again. You should take care, of your car, clean it, make sure it's like tidy to a degree. And by cleaning it up, you're recognizing that it has a special meaning to you, that like you are recognizing that this car is able to alleviate so much stress that would normally be in your life, but we're just so accustomed to this luxury of having a car at our disposal that we like forget that some people literally walk every day, rain or shine, cold or hot. They walk to work. They have to walk to their friends. They have to take Ubers. They have to take the bus. They have to have somebody come and pick them up. Having a car is an incredible luxury. And like, you should take care of your car. Don't use it as a closet. Don't use it as a dumping ground. And also, having the luxury of a car is also not treating it as something at the same time as something that you should use all the time. This is something that I really like to do. I like to walk places, okay? I have a car, but I also like to walk, because sometimes a car gets you to a place too quickly. And I like the feeling of like earning my destination. Sometimes when I want to go and get groceries, I just don't take my car. I go and I walk. I like that feeling. There's this really beautiful park that I live by, and all in all, to there and back, it is about 4 miles. Okay, and I've done that at any time of day, but it just doesn't feel right taking my car there. There's something really rewarding with the destination. I feel like I really got there. I made the journey to this really beautiful place, and I'm tired when I get there. That feeling when your legs are tired, that is, obviously you're exercising. It takes a long time to get somewhere. So your endorphins are being released and stuff. And I just lay on a bench at this park and I just look up at the stars, at the sky. And I am just so happy to be alive. And that walk, this is a time thing. Again, this is a convenience problem. Again, that walk is your time of beauty. Your car, it's a luxury and you should respect it and you should be happy that you have it. But having that discipline of saying no to the convenience and just walking somewhere for the leisurely activity of walking, enjoying the night air and seeing people out and about, or listening to music, or just getting to your destination, feeling like you earned your destination, feeling like you've made the journey, that is so priceless, and it makes time go by slower. I know it takes longer, obviously, to get there, but that's not the point. That's never been the point. That's what these videos are about. It's not about, A plus B takes 7 minutes. I can get there in 6 minutes if I drive a little bit faster. And then it's okay, you're there. Now what? And it's the destination B doesn't just feel as sacred anymore. But whenever you walk there, let's say that takes 40 minutes to walk there. When you get there, damn, you're happy to be there. You're happy to be there, and you're tired, and you sit down, and it just all dissolves, and you feel good. Get a little bit of exercise in, and you really you take things in more. Sometimes you gotta know when a destination feels, like you want to give it more respect by walking to it. You learn this over time. That's what I started doing. I started making this like measurement system in my head, like a gratification measurement system kind of. But use your car, love your car, but also teach yourself when to not use it and when some things require a little bit more of your time in order to enjoy them. Number 7, ugly habit. Number 7, not folding your laundry. Talking about the people that wash their laundry and their laundry is clean, and then they leave their laundry in the hamper in their room, and then the next morning they're going to pick out their outfit, and they pick out their outfit from this like wrinkled pile of clothes. You know what happens to people that do that? They come back from being out in public to catch themselves in the side of a mirror and see that their thong is still attached to their sweatshirt. That's what happens to people like that. It also means your clothes are wrinkled, which is never good. Like with anything, I'll just keep this short. Let the clothes air out. Hang them up. Get nice hangers for your clothes. Show some respect to your things. It'll make you not want to buy stuff as much. It'll make you not as compulsive. It'll make you appreciate what you have. Just be grateful for the clothes on your back, period. Open a window, let the breeze in, put on a record, fold your laundry, put it in your wardrobe, hang your stuff up, let it breathe, let it not be wrinkly, take care of the things that you love. Treat anything that you have, clothing, objects, whatever, treat them like people. Like they are human, like they deserve tenderness and kindness and consideration. It's a rule of thumb for a beautiful life, okay? Beauty is there. You just gotta hang up the garment. Number 8. This is something that I am worried about with people today. And it is the way that girls especially talk. I am very worried about this habit. And it is the habit that girls are talking like they're children. And I know this is going on, and just let me know if I'm being too harsh on this, but language is not just language. Language is your way of communicating what's in here. And if you can't communicate properly with a proper vocabulary, what's in here in full sentences and not just like pithy little phrases, if you're not able to do that, this is going to hinder your intelligence. I am so serious. This is some like George Orwell 1984 shit. But the less expressive a language is, the more trapped a mind is behind the language. Okay? If you should treat your ideas like you treat your clothes, like you treat the rest of your things and your beautiful life. You should treat your thoughts and your ideas with respect by giving them the proper expression. I have always placed a lot of importance on vocabulary, on eloquence, on how you speak. And not only am I worried about the lack of eloquence in women, but I'm also worried about how they call themselves girls a lot whenever they're not girls anymore. And it worries me because it's an infantilization of themselves. And I think you should look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a woman, not I'm a girl, like girl dinner, you're a woman, start talking to yourself like you are one. And eventually, you will grow out of this shadow that you've casted on yourself. Obviously, this is a problem. The infantilization, girl thing, and girls saying oh, the boy. And it's no, that's a man. That's a man. He is over 14. That is a man, treat him that way and start treating each other like that and start taking things a little bit more seriously. But I'm just saying that women specifically have this infantilization thing of themselves that worries me. But the problem with the lack of language is on everybody's shoulders. It's not just women. I should clarify that. I just worry about the girl thing. But I really I think that as somebody who advocates for full realization of one's femininity and exploration of that, I think it's very unhealthy as a grown woman to talk about yourself like you're a girl and to speak that way all the time. It worries me. And I think that the inability, especially the inability to communicate your thoughts in a highly expressive way. I that worries me too. And I think that like the slang, especially in America, is getting to this point where people are not even like speaking full sentences. They're not even speaking a few words. They just pinpoint end period. A literal period at the end of the sentence is like one word. It's not even a statement. I think that each one of us is like incredibly intelligent and perceptive. And I think that the more that you communicate your thoughts and do it and really describe how you feel and try to describe how you feel, put in the effort to do that, you will find that your mind opens back up. The world is not small. It's not small in the way that you can just say like slay or period or like, you know, just really, really communicate your ideas, and like the world will become more beautiful. You know, the world, everything that you see can be poetry. And I think that you can even start to speak that way. And even if people will think that you are being pretentious by trying to be more eloquent and maybe not use slang as much and your vernacular is being more developed and stuff like that, don't let them keep speaking not full sentences, okay? I encourage you to learn, pick up a book, write down the definition of every single word that you don't know and try and use them. Be like Cher from Clueless. Learn new words, how to apply them. Pretty soon, you'll be able to write in your journal and you'll be able to express your thoughts more, and then beauty comes after that. You'll be able to see more things because you're opening up your imagination. So do yourself a favor. Stop being a woman and then talking about yourself or referring to yourself as like younger, like too young for your age. I think it's time probably to grow up a little bit and also learn how to speak eloquently. Try. I promise. It's just a fun time. Words are so cool. Poetry is cool. Prose is cool. There's so much. Language is deceptive, yes, but there is so much that it can do for you alone. Not even communicating things to other people, but communicating things to yourself. It has more to do with you looking in the mirror and being able to say, this is how I feel, than it even is like trying to communicate to another person socially. So keep that in mind. This is the last one. Number 8. I know everybody has said this at some point, but get off your phone. It's a problem. We all know it. It's an addiction. Some people call it a weapon, your phone. We all have this problem. The sad part about this whole phone thing is not so much like people waiting in line and like, you know, you don't want somebody to bug you, so you look busy on your phone or whatever. Like, it's more so that I don't see people daydreaming as much. That's what gets me. Daydreaming is one of the most beautiful things that you could do, but most people aren't looking up to the sky anymore. They're looking at their phone and they're getting distracted by other people's thoughts and other people's daydreams that they're putting into the social media machine. I want you to like put your phone down and like look out into the distance and think and dream. I think that seeing other people's stuff all the time inhibits your ability to know yourself, to be able to contemplate things that might be worrying you, to get through problems, or even to visualize for yourself what you want. Like, this is not just like a get off your phone, you know, you're wasting your time speech. Daydreaming is lovely because you can think about whatever you want. Literally anything. You can come up with any universe in your mind's eye, any scenario. I think people need to look out more, need to daydream more, and consider a life that has not been created yet, that can only survive in the fantastical place of your imagination. I do think it's important to practice not looking at your phone whenever you're out in public, and let's say you're waiting in line, or, you know, I think it's just like good practice to do that every now and then, because you cannot hide in your phone forever. You just can't. There is a real world out there. But yeah, the daydreaming thing is, I would love to see people when they're walking on the street not looking at their phone. I'd love to see people looking out, looking at houses, looking at trees, looking at the sky, thinking, stopping. I want to see people resort to their imagination more than they resort to their phone for escape. Your head used to be the place for escape. Now it's your phone. Anybody else find that like really weird and uncomfortable? Because I do. I like it in here a lot more than I like it my phone, Instagram, Pinterest. I can do whatever the hell I want in here. I can create things that have never been created here. The world of social media is so finite. It's just what's already been, what's already there. So consider that. Please let me know what your thoughts are below. I know some people are probably not going to be down with some of the things that I said in this video, but I really do. I come at it from a good place. I really do. Like I said, these things can be done every now and then, but when they become like a fixation of comfort, it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go for a while and do something uncomfortable. That's where you're going to learn. That's where you're going to grow. And that's where beauty is there waiting for you. It's just waiting for you to turn your head to look at it. Beauty wants you. It desires you too. I will see you guys next week. Yeah. On time. We're gonna be on time next week. Goodbye.